right, this first question comes from May. I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And they write, how is application to the SOE network different from typical visa applications if it all depends on the personality and mood of the admissions officer assigned to your case? Well, this calls for another detailed answer, but all right. I'm afraid you've either been misinformed or you've misunderstood the network application process, May. No single person has the authority to approve or deny your application for entry into the SOE network. In fact, giving individuals that much power, I believe, and many would agree, is one of the biggest flaws in the typical visa and immigration process, because there's nothing to stop an application from being denied if the person with the authority to deny is having a bad day or is prejudiced in some way. No, instead the SOE process is automated. Though the questions asked and the documents required are very much like applying for a visa, once you apply and your information has been entered into the system, it's sort of like filing a legal case in court. A very thorough discovery process of digging into your life will begin, conducted by network officers via systems and algorithms. And believe me, even things you thought were long dead, buried, and impossible to retrieve will be found. Places you worked at, companies that are now closed, your travel history and behaviors abroad, old friendships you maintained, old charges that were brought against you or charges you brought against someone else, and your online activity will especially be exposed. So websites you visited, posts made to online forums that may no longer exist, or people and organizations you currently or previously subscribed to, or if there were seemingly anonymous donations you made to questionable people and causes. Oh, and especially if you did and said anything against women or minority groups on or offline. Although treating women as property and second-class citizens is sort of baked into some cultures and religions, so I often wonder about that. But anyway, any and all of your online activity apparently left a digital footprint, which means just like in court, everything you do and say, plus everything you did and said in the past, in both the real world and online, can and will be used either for or against you. And if used against you, depending on how the system ranks the severity of your transgressions, and according to the frequency and time frame of your transgressions, you may be denied permanently or placed in the sort of timeout area of the system and given the opportunity to reapply after a certain time, which is meant to give you time to adjust your behavior and ensure that no further transgressions can be found and used against you in future. So you see, May, the only person your admission into the SOE network solely depends upon is you. All right, I hope that clears things up for you, and thank you for your question.